All right, hi team. We're gonna get started soon. Let's allow everyone to get on soon. Okay, hopefully you guys are clicking on the right link. We have five people on so far. So please help the team to get on as well. All right, bear with us, okay? Because we this is still pretty new for all of us, and I know it's still pretty new for a lot of you guys as well. We have six people on so far. Okay. Let me just repost it so people copy. Okay, there we go. So then we can get started. All right, team. Welcome to our Wednesday night training. I have some good stuff for you guys tonight, and I know that we have a lot of guests in the BPM above and um, above me, above not in heaven, but above. I know Lena's running it from upstairs, and we have the guest speakers being Steve and Ray right now. We have a lot of guests on there. I'm excited for you guys, and yeah, it's been a crazy week, right? Trying to do everything via Zoom. And I know like it's a serious matter because of social distancing, and a lot of people right now are like getting infected, and like there might be people close to us too that we've heard that might be infected. So please be safe, please keep your family safe, and like and just do your best to be socially responsible. And that being said, that's why we're doing a lot of things via webinar and Zoom, and it's our job to adapt to this and help people to become comfortable. So as you've seen some of our posts, like a lot of our appointments is all through Zoom, and there's a lot all online, whether it's recruiting, whether it's a fast start, whether it's a client appointment. So we highly encourage you guys to do the same. I want to get into a little bit of recognition too, and I know that in the past 7 days, there's a lot of activities on the team. So excited for you guys, right? So I know that I asked some of you guys to actually post out some of your activities, and it might be getting to me late. So I do know that Ray and Rhonda, they're on their SMD run. They had 8 appointments and 4 applications turned in. So congrats to them. I know that I think Swathi didn't post it out. Let me see. Here you go. I got Swathi's update here. So Swathi in the past 7 days has 2 appointments and 1 application as well. So congrats to her. I know that she's making a push for Ray's run as well. I do know that Christian closed some business recently, so he has an appointment and closed some business last night as well. So congrats to Christians, and you guys are on fire, right? And in the future, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have we're trying to be creative and trying to get figure out a way where we can have you guys speak on the call and all that too. So in the future, I'm gonna have you guys record like a Telegram message, talking about your appointment and what you did for the team, and I can actually just have you on the screen right here to speak because we're utilizing YouTube for now. And so I think that's one way that we can do it. I mean, if we can figure out another way, we can do that as well. But congratulations to you guys, and Lena and myself, we actually have a lot of appointments as well. A lot of them for one-on-one appointments, and I know we have like a recruit coming up. So I think we have 8 appointments, and one of them became a recruit for Justina's team. One of them will become a recruit for ourselves as well, right? And so I'm excited for our business right now, even though with these tough times and even though through the coronavirus updates, I don't know when it's going to end. There's all these different projections. But at the end of the day, like business has to move forward, business has to go on. And so tonight, we're going to have a training that I really want you guys to be super proficient in. It is one of the most important trainings that not only you understand, but also that you learn how to explain, because this will allow you to sell the dream to a lot of people interested in our business and brand new recruits as well. And so our training for tonight will be on points and compensation. Okay, so points and compensation. So this is one of the more basic trainings, but it's also one of the most important things out there, because if number one, you need to learn how to do it for yourself, and number two, like this is something that you'll learn how to explain to your teammates. And for those of you guys who feel like you already have a good handle on it, the next step is, can you explain points and comp? And that is something that a lot of people, until they're put on the spot, they think they can do it in their heads, their minds, but in reality, it's very difficult for them, right? So let me walk you through points and compensation for the night, and then we'll end with any announcements and a meeting after meeting as well. All right. So points and compensation. Let's get it started. So points of compensation is important because it's important that you learn how you get paid. There are many different ways that we get paid, and also how do we calculate getting paid. Okay, so the outcome of today's presentation is for you to be able to calculate points, how much you get paid, be able to understand the different promotional levels and how it affects your overrides, understand how awesome our compensation package is compared to everyone else, all the other companies out there, and also learn how to run for a promotion. So we got a couple of you guys on our team running for your next promotion, and you should always be running for the next promotion so that you can get a higher contract level, and you can also go out there and help more families out there. To show you how amazing our compensation system is, and this includes, you're looking at these numbers, these are people at the broker level and above. This includes a lot of people who are part-time. Okay, a lot of people who are part-time and not really doing much in the business. Okay, and so that's how amazing it is, right? Look at the average income, but also the highest earning, right? And so if you take a look, the highest earning for a senior marketing director, right? One of the lowest, the lowest level of a broker position is over $1 million at the senior marketing level, director level, right? And obviously, when you get more licenses to sell products with more licenses, the average increases. So for a lot of you guys who are going to be SMD and above, like we're always going to recommend you to do that to better serve the clients out there. And those are the average numbers for EMD, CEO, and executive vice chairman, with the highest earner somewhere in the ballpark of 14 million. And I know Eric Olson is trying to catch up to 10 million by the end of this year. So we're going to have a lot of people, at the higher levels, right? So this isn't a company where there's only one or two guys at the top. It's actually ones where there's hundreds of people who are making a 6-figure, 7-figure income. Next, all of you guys should have already seen this at some point in your life, right? So this is the promotional level. So the lowest contract level. So the first 4 levels are the agents levels, right? So the training associates at 25, associates at 35, senior associates at 45, and marketing directors at 50. Those are the 4 levels as an agent. As a broker, senior marketing director and above, all the broker levels contracts is exactly 65%. And people ask, well, where does the rest of the money go? How does it work? So you're going to learn why during this presentation as well. So let's talk about 2 of the flagship products that we have there's a lot of other things that I get involved in that you guys are not involved in. For example, mutual funds and 401k plans and all that. So I'm only going to talk about the two flagship products that a lot of you guys are writing business with your life and health license, and teach you guys how to calculate that, right? So the first one is the Index Universal Life, or any term policies as well, for a lot of term policies. So this is an insurance calculation, right? So, and any type of product dealing with life insurance, this is how you get paid. So how you get paid is you take the total points times the contract level. So remember the contract levels that I just showed you guys, equals the commission paid to the associate. So the first example is this. The first example is for an Index Universal Life. Okay, let's calculate how many points that is. So if you have a 30-year-old male who's saving $600 a month towards a TPL policy, how do you calculate that, right? So first of all, right, and you have the total points for an IUL, right, is monthly premium times 12, or annual premium times a company adjustment. Okay, so it's basically the annual premium times company adjustment, or if the client is saving monthly, multiply that monthly by 12. Okay, so let me walk you through that example. So TPL's adjustment is 122%. Okay, every single company has their own adjustment percentage, and I don't know why it says contract levels 22%, because I think I was changing the numbers there. So let's go back here. Okay, switch that. So 25% is a training associate contract. Okay, so how do we calculate that? So the client is saving $600 a month times 12, that's the annual premium, times 122%, which is, or you can multiply by 1.22, equals 8,784 points. That's how you calculate the points. From the points, you multiply by the contract level to figure out how much you get paid. So 8,784 times 25%. As a training associate, brand new to the company, you'll get paid $2,200 roughly on this contract. So I think that's pretty amazing, right? Like to be able to make $2,000 for one client, right? In this calculation, in this example right here. Now, furthermore, Index Universal Life and a lot of insurance are paid 40% in advance, 60% upon policy approval. We call it 40-60. So let me walk you through an example, okay? So if you have a client who wants to save $600 a month towards a policy, okay, and you are a training associate, what will happen is, first and foremost, you will fill out an application, and you'll submit the application into the company. As soon as the company receives the application and they draft $600 from the client's account for the initial draft, then the associate will get paid 40% of the total amount that was going to get paid to them. So the total amount that they were going to get paid is $2,196 times 40% of that equals $878. Then the application process might take about a month to two on average. And after the policy is approved, then you'll get paid the other 60%, which is calculates to be 1,317 for the total of 2,196. Okay, so if you guys have any questions while we go along, you can post a question on Telegram, and that way, like I can do my best to, take a look down at Telegram to make sure that, we're covering any questions that you might have as we go along, and I'll try to answer it along the way, right? In the future, we'll try to find, more efficient ways to do it as well. The next flagship product that we do a lot of rollovers, right? So I'm going to give an example of an annuity calculation. And for the annuity calculation, how you calculate the points is very simple. It's the total rollover amount times the company adjustment equals your points. That's it. Just the total amount that the person wants to roll over from their IRA, 401k, or cash, right? Times company adjustment equals the total points. So let me walk you through this example. Let's say that a 55-year-old woman rolls over $300,000 from her old company, 401k, to a annuity with Allianz. Could be any company, right? The rollover amount is $300,000. Okay, so Allianz adjustment is 6.3%. That's the company adjustment. I'll show you how to get that soon. So all you do is, and her contract level for the agent is 25%. So all you have to do is you do 300,000, which is the rollover amount, times 6.3% equals 18,900 points. That is how you get the points. Okay, so points times your contract level. In this case, you're a training associate, times 25% equals $4,725. Isn't that amazing? We help a client roll over their money, right, from their previous 401k or an IRA, and then you can get paid $4,700. I think that's pretty amazing. This is at the lowest contract level. Imagine if you're 35%, 45%, 50%, 65%, you get paid more than that, right? But even at the bottom rung level, you get paid almost $5,000 for helping that client out. For annuities, you are paid 100% on contract approval. So as soon as the contract gets funded and approved, then you'll get paid 100% on that. Okay, no 40-60. And that's how you get paid on rollovers. Next, the next question for most people is, how do I calculate the company adjustment? How do I calculate the company adjustment, right? So let me show you guys how to do this for calculating, take a look at company adjustment. So those of you guys who are licensed will have access to this, right? So again, you have to be licensed already, okay? You have to be licensed. You'll go to the website, www.mywfg.com. Then on the top right, you will see something called menu. You want to click on menu, and this screen will pop up. On this screen, you will select recruiting and selling, and then you will select products and providers, and then you will select product guide. Okay? Recruiting and selling, products and provider, product guide. Okay? Once you select product guide, you'll see a page like this where you can sort by products, providers. You can do a search for it. When you click on the headings where it says provider name or provider tier or company code number, start date, status, when you click on any of those, it can sort it by alphabetical order if you want to. Okay? And you can also search for specific products and providers. Once you search for a specific product and provider, a screen will pop up that will basically give you a PDF of the company, right, and the product, and it'll show you what percent it is. So the 6.3%, the 122%, those are found by this method, right, by just searching through your product guide. Okay, and this is you have to be licensed to be able to search through this. Next, overrides calculation. Okay, overrides calculation, and overrides calculation is important because if you're going to build a team, an agency, then you'll need to learn how to calculate your override. Okay, so let's talk about override. They say that the sweetest word in the English dictionary is override, right? It's being able to have passive income, getting paid when you're not working, right? So overrides. So overrides is your contract level minus the highest contract level in that leg equals your override percentage. Okay, I'll read it one more time. Your contract level, whatever it is, 25, 35, 45, 50, 65, minus the highest contract level in your leg equals your override percentage. Then you take the override percentage, multiply by the points that's written in that leg equals how much you get paid in dollars, your override compensation. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you're my position, which is Senior Marketing Director, SMD, which means you're 65%. Directly underneath you, you have a new agent who's a training associate. The new training associate has a client and writes 10,000 points. Okay, so the training associate has a client that's worth 10,000 points. So the training associate will get paid 10,000 times 25%. they will get paid $2,500. Now, as the SMD, how much do I get paid? You take my contract, which is 65, minus the training associate's contract, which is 25, equals 40%. Then you take 40% times 10,000 points equals 4,000 override. So as an SMD, I have a brand new person, they write 10,000 points, the brand new person makes 2,500. I will make 4,000 on that transaction, even if I'm not involved in that transaction. So guess what? The override is large, but I don't want you to be training associate forever. I want you to be associate. I want you to be senior associate. I want you to be marketing director, ASAP. Does it mean I have less override? Absolutely, I have less override. But why is that important if you are a business owner? Well, guess what? Who do you think you'll retain more? Will you retain the training associate, right? 25% contract who makes $2,500, or is it easier to maintain, right, to retain the person who wrote the same amount of points, marketing director level, they make $5,000, right? So the more my agent makes, the easier it is to retain them because they're making money, right? They're helping families, they're making money, they're happy. So as an SMD, as a leader, right? Like all of us leaders on this call, right? We want you guys to get promoted. We want our overrides to be lower. Why? So that we retain you and then we train you, and we want you guys to be making the money. Okay? So next, let's go over some override calculations. Okay? So let's say that I want you guys to pretend that you are the guy on top. Okay? You're the guy on top. You're the marketing director level. Okay? And you bring in somebody brand new. Okay? The brand new person is a training associate. Let's start calculating some of these. Okay, so let's say that as a marketing director, okay, you're the marketing director, you have a personal client, and your personal client, you write 10,000 points. How much do you get paid? Okay, have that number in your head, and I'll give you the answer. Okay, if you're the marketing director, you have a client that's 10,000 points, how much do you get paid? And a lot of you guys will be correct if you said $5,000. So 10,000 times 50% equals $5,000 as a marketing director. Now, let's say that you are at home watching TV. Hopefully something useful. Let's just say you are at home cooking dinner for your wife. Okay, so you're at home cooking a dinner for your spouse, husband or wife, and you know, like you get a phone call, and you have a team member on your team who's a training associate who reports to you, says, hey, I just went out there and I closed a client all by myself, and it's worth 10,000 points. Okay, first and foremost, how much does he or she get paid? Multiply that in your head or write it down. I'll give you a minute or 10 seconds. If you said 2,500, you are correct. Because 10,000 times a 25% contract level equals 2,500. Now, even though you're at home cooking dinner for your spouse, right? You had no part in that transaction, but that person is on your team. How much did you make? Okay, so I'll give you 10 seconds to calculate that as well. Okay, first, you have to know what your override percentage is. So what's the override percentage? It's your contract level minus the highest contract level in the leg underneath you. So 50 minus 25 equals 25%. That's right. And then you take that 25%, multiply by the points that was written by the agent, which is 10,000. So 10,000 times 25% means you also make $2,500. So your agent makes $2,500, you make $2,500 as an MD. That was a fairly simple example. Let's give the next example. You're a marketing director and your teammate gets promoted all the way to marketing director. Okay? Now, obviously, when you go out and have a personal client, 10,000 points, you will get paid $5,000. Okay? Now, let's say, go back to that example. You're back to the kitchen you're cooking for your spouse, and your teammate, who is also a marketing director, gives you a call, says, hey, I just went out and helped a client. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for the client as well. We did a good job for them, and it's worth 10,000 points based on all the calculations. How much does he or she make? That's correct. He or she will make 10,000 times 50% equals $5,000. Now, next question is, that person's on your team. How much do you make? Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds for that as well. So in this specific example, you have to calculate your override percentage. 50% minus 50% equals how much? That's right. It is 0%. So 10,000 times 0 is 0. Even though they're on your team, they're your same level, you will not make an override on this one. Okay? Next one, it gets a little bit more complicated. Okay? So you are the MD slash chef, right? Cook. And you recruited somebody on your team, and they got through their promotions all the way up to senior associate, which is a 45% contract. And they recruit someone who is a training associate at a 25% contract. Let's do some calculations, okay? If you write 10,000 points, you know that you're getting paid personally $5,000. Let's say that you're in the kitchen cooking, your senior associate calls you and says they wrote 10,000 points. First, how much do they get paid? Give you a few seconds. If you said 4,500, you are correct, right? 10,000 times 45%. The senior associate will get paid 4,500. Out of that transaction, how much does the training associate get paid? I'll let you guys calculate that. The answer to that is nothing, because you have to be the upline, not the downline, right? So the senior associate recruited the training associate, not the other way around, right? So the training associate will never get anything on any business that the senior associate writes, okay? So they will get paid nothing. How much does the MD, how much do you get paid? And if you did this calculation, the first thing you need to do is you need to calculate the override percentage, okay? So if you said $500, you are correct, right? Because it is 50% minus 45% equals 5%. 5% times 10,000 equals $500. That's how much you get paid. Now, last calculation. You're in the kitchen cooking again, right? You're becoming a pro chef. And the training associate gives you a call. Training associate calls you. He goes, I'm so excited. You know, like I just went out there and I wrote 10,000 points on my own. Okay? First question, how much does the training associate get paid? Give you a few seconds. Okay? The training associate will get paid 10,000 times 25% equals 2,500. Okay? So, next question. Remember, this is the training associate who wrote business, not the MD, not the senior associate. The senior associate's also in the kitchen cooking. That's duplication for you, right? And so how much does the senior associate get paid? The senior associate get paid. All you got to do is take 45% minus 25%, okay? And that is 20%. 20% times 10,000, which is the points written, the senior associate will get paid $2,000. Last question, how much do you get paid as an MD? Give you a few seconds. As an MD, the correct answer is $500, because you take 50% minus the highest contract level in the leg, which is 45, equals 5%, and 5% of 10,000 is $500. That's how much the MD gets paid. Okay, this is for you guys to understand how overrides work. Let's reverse that a little bit. Okay, this is a little bit tougher one for you guys. If you are a marketing director and you have a teammate who's direct to you, you recruited your friend who is a training associate, and then a training associate recruited another person who is 45%, right? Who surpassed the training associate. Let's do some calculations, okay? If you meet with a client personally, again, with 10,000 points, obviously you get paid $5,000. Let's go on to the next example. If your friend that you recruited, the training associate, goes out there, gives you a call and say, hey, I just closed a client on my own, 10,000 points. How much does he get paid? And that's correct. That's an easy calculation. 2,500. It's 10,000 times 25%. Now, out of that transaction, even though you're cooking in the kitchen, how much do you get paid? So you multiply. 50% minus 25% equals 25%. So out of 10,000 points, you will also get paid 2,500. Okay? Next question is, the TA just wrote business 10,000 points. How much does the SA get paid? I'll let you guys calculate that. The correct answer is nothing, because the training associate recruited the senior associate. The senior associate is under the training associate's team, not the other way around. So they will never override the training associate. Last question. If the senior associate wrote 10,000 points, how much does he or she get paid? That's an easy one. 10,000 times 45%. The senior associate will get paid 4,500. Okay? Now, the training associate is at home cooking. The marketing director, that's you, are at home cooking. How much do you guys get paid? So let's calculate. Training associate will get paid. You go 25% minus 45% is negative 20%. So maybe he owes the senior associate money. Now that's not the case, okay? Don't worry, you don't owe anyone money. So the training associate will get paid 0%, okay? Because your teammates surpass you, so you get paid 0%. How much does the marketing director get paid? I'll let you calculate that. So the correct calculation is 50% minus 45%, which is the highest in the leg, equals 5%. And the points written by the senior associate was 10,000. So the marketing director will get paid $500. Okay? Last but not least. Now, what if you are at the highest level? Okay? You're at the highest level. And at the highest level, okay, senior marketing director, how much do you override another senior marketing director? Well, for most people, they look at that and they say 65 minus 65 is 0. Okay? Well, guess what? SMD have a separate type of override. Okay? Now, this is the key to why our business is the best business model out there, especially in the financial industry. Okay? So I'm going to walk you guys through how SMD overrides work. If you are a senior marketing director, you're a broker, no matter what, you will receive some type of override, even if your teammates surpass you. I'm going to repeat one more time. As long as you hit the senior marketing director level, 65%, you will always, this is the first level of broker, you will always get an override, even if your teammates surpass you. So this is the level to be. So let's say the first person is you, and your teammate becomes a senior marketing director. The override is 12%. Okay? So how does that work? Okay? If you have your own personal business, 10,000 points, you multiply by 6,500, then you get paid 6,500. Now, if you have a team member who hits senior marketing director and they write 10,000 points, how much do they get paid? That's right. 6,500, just the same, right? But you also override them 12%. So you take 10,000 times 12%, and you'll override them 1,000 $200 for that transaction that they wrote while you were in the kitchen cooking dinner. Okay? And that goes on, right? If your SMD recruits an SMD and so forth. Always 12%. Now, you override your teammate's SMD by 6%. And your teammate's SMD by 4, and so forth by 3, 1.5, and 1. Okay? So I'm going to go back to just like 2 levels because it makes it easier. Okay? So let's say that you are the first SMD. You recruit your best friend who you help to get to SMD, and they recruit their sister who becomes an SMD. So the last one is the sister who is an SMD. Let's say that the sister wrote 10,000 points. How much does she get paid? Obviously, 10,000 times 65% is 6,500. So that's the third person. Now, off of that transaction, even though you're in the kitchen and your best friend's in the kitchen, how much do you guys get paid? Okay? So your best friend, who is the next level, will get paid 10,000 times 12%, which is 1,200. Off of the same exact transaction, you override your best friend's sister 6%, so you also get paid $600. Okay? Does that make sense? So if you have any questions on that, please send a team message out there. Okay? So next. Next is, if you kind of add up all these percentages, you'll see that it will equal approximately 27.5%, right? Because that's where a lot of the numbers that bridge the gap between 65 and 100. The reason why this is important is because if there was no 12% override, 6% or 4% override, then there would be no incentive for an SMD to help someone else become an SMD if the override is 0%, right? Might as well keep the agent at a lower percentage so you get an override. So this is a super important concept that you guys should understand. Our business platform, our system, design it this way to make it a fair system, but to also make it a very team environment that everybody wants to help everyone. Why do I want to help Ray to get to this level, right? If I'm going to get 0%, right? Of course I want him to succeed and win, but if I'm originally getting 15% because he's MD, and then I get 0 when he becomes SMD, I would say, hey Ray, don't chase SMD. Why would I teach you my secrets? Why would I help your team? Why would I help, you guys get promoted, right? So people do not understand the importance of having that cushion, right? The cushion of the 35% between 65 and 100, the 35% cushion to allow for these overrides and bonuses that are incentives for us to have a teamwork environment. I can show you an example of that, right? So there will be other companies out there that say, oh my goodness, your compensation sucks. Your compensation is at 65%. We're going to give you 90. We're going to give you 100%. Well, guess what? That actually is, on paper, it looks better, 90%. Wow, if I have a 90% contract, I'll make more money. But guess what? You're going to be part of an environment that there's nothing left over for you to override. So it's pretty much every man for himself, right? And all your team members will try to get to your level so that you override him nothing. And you have to continue to recruit and build for the rest of your life. There's no retirement, right? Like, it's just all personal production. So think about it, right? If there is 0% override, then you will have to continue to build if you want your business to sustain. Okay? So be smart. Even though the numbers look good on paper, they can't draw money out of thin air, right? To pay for your overrides, right? So that is a very important concept. If you don't understand that, then please, ask us afterwards. All right? Please ask us afterwards. Next, terminology. So this is super important for you guys to learn, because when you're in this business, there's going to be a lot of terminology. Okay, so let me write it out for you. Okay, so the SMD on the top left, recruited the TA, and I think like the lines are not showing up, right? So let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna do some quick do this so you guys can see it. Okay, so I know it's like I transferred this from a previous slide, so it's hard to see, but I can do a quick edit. There we go. So let me go here. All right, so the SMD on the top left, let's say that is you. Okay, you recruited a training associate, and you recruited another training associate who got promoted to MD. The MD recruited a training associate. Okay, first and foremost, everybody who is on an SMD team, okay, this is called the base shop. Okay, everybody who is a non-SMD on an SMD team is considered a base shop. Okay, let's say you recruited your best friend, and your best friend becomes SMD, the one on the right. Your best friend becomes SMD, and your best friend has a team, right? The training associate. That is considered your super base. That's considered your super base. Now, let's say that your best friend recruited her sister, who gets promoted all the way to SMD, and they have a teammate. That is considered your super team. Okay? So that's the relationship between the people in the rectangle and the first SMD. Okay, that's the relationship between the people in the rectangle and the first SMD on the top left. Okay, so both people would be considered the super base. So now look at the first SMD again, who recruited the best friend, the one to the right. Okay, the one to the right here. Okay, so let me circle it. The one to the right here, that is part of his super base. This training associate is also part of the first one's super base. So everyone in this rectangle. Now, this person here recruited the sister. So this guy's relationship to the first SMD is super team. Now, anyone on his or her team is also considered super team to the first person. Let me ask you guys a question. What is these guys' relationship to this guy? These guys' relationship to this guy is super base. These guys' relationship to this guy is super team. Everybody's relationship here to him is base shop. This training associate's relationship to this one is base shop. This person's relationship to this SMD is base shop. So I really want you guys to just understand the terminology, because when you're looking at the point systems and recognitions and all that, there is going to be there's basically going to be terminology that you guys need to understand. Okay, next, leg, okay, is how many people are direct to you. Okay, so the correct answer to this one is 3 legs, 3 direct legs. So this one here is 1 leg to the TA. This one here to this one is another leg. And this one here to this entire one here is 1 leg for them. This is 1 leg, 2 legs, 3 legs. So the correct answer is 3. How many legs does this guy have? The correct answer is 2. 1, 2. How many legs does this guy have? The correct answer is 1. So that's the terminology. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, guess what? On top of the personal compensation, on top of the overrides, guess what? There's bonuses involved as well, right? As long as you hit a minimum monthly production for the team, guess what? There's bonuses when you are SMD and above level, right? Sometimes it's 1,000, sometimes it's a couple 100,000, and it is super amazing, right? So that's why you got to get to this. So this is an example of one of the EVCs, SAVCs bonus, right? That's a $368,000 bonus, right? In one cycle. And you guys will learn what a cycle is as well. Here's another one that was recent. One bonus, $837,000 in one bonus. I think that's an amazing bonus. Okay? So get yourself in the bonus pool by hitting SMD. Okay? Next. Frequency of payments. Okay? In our business, we get paid 2 times a week. Every Tuesday, every Friday. Every Tuesday, every Friday. That's about 8 times a month. I know most of you guys are used to twice a month, right? But we're twice a week. We call it a cycle, right? Tuesday is a cycle, Friday is a cycle. Tuesday is a cycle, Friday is a cycle. How many times we get paid a year? Roughly 104 times a year. Hopefully you guys can get used to that, right? Because it's fun. Direct deposits, right? So, I mean, this is pretty amazing. I think this is Eric Olson's, or actually Shun Wynn's back in 2015, right? So take a look at that. That is only 1 month from, right? 1 month from May 18, 2015 through June 18, 2015. This person made $587,000 within a 30-day period. Look at all the cycles that happen. 518, that's a cycle. 521, so that's a 518 is a Tuesday. 521 is a Friday. 526 is a Tuesday. 528 is a Friday. 528 is a, right? So Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday. You see that, right? So imagine in 1 week making $120,000 in 1 week. I think that's pretty amazing. Look at that rolling 12 months, $7 million, right? So these are actual direct deposit checks from actual WFG brokers, right? So it's pretty amazing. Last but not least, guess what? There's a lot of recognitions and awards. One of our teammates asked me today, oh, so what's a $1 million earner, right? $1 million earner. Usually we refer to $1 million or $250,000 or $500,000 or $5 million. That's on a 12-month rolling basis. It's a 12-month basis, not a lifetime, okay? Not lifetime in WFG. It's a 12-month period. So when we refer to a $1 million earner, $1 million ring earner, we're referring to 12 months only, okay? And usually within the company, they only recognize you when you hit it the first time. So if you hit the million ring the first year, right, or your first time in your career, you hit it again in the next year, they're not going to announce you again because they expect you to maintain it, right? So all the new ring earners that you guys see recognized, they're all hitting new milestones, right? So someone who hit a 100, the next milestone is 250, the next milestone is 500, right? So these recognitions and awards and all that are all paid for by the company, right? So imagine you go out there, you help families, you make money, and you get these trips and vacations, and we've been to Hawaii and Paris and Italy, we've been to Cancun and all those locations, paid for by the company. It's awesome for you and your spouse. And on top of that, once you hit these milestones, they give you a ring, right? So some of you guys see, us wearing rings and all that. That's you hitting a milestone, right? These rings are actually, I thought they were class rings, right? So when I was in high school, I looked at the brochure like, oh, Jostens, $70, $100. I thought they were these class rings. They are no joke. These rings are white gold, right? So these rings are white gold for the men's. They're a little bit larger. They're almost $2,000 for the ring that the company will buy for you and award you when you hit your milestones, right? And so and also studded with real diamonds as well. For each 100,000 on there, they're gonna put another diamond on there, right? So it's pretty fancy, pretty nice recognition out there. Okay. Last but not least, I wanna walk you guys through some of the promotional flow, right? There's a shortcut as well, right, for fast track, right? So the shortcut from training associate to associate is a 3-3-30. Associate to senior associate 10-10-30. Marketing director is 25-30. There's no shortcut to senior marketing director. Okay? And for the standard guidelines is a little bit harder because you have to be licensed and you have to have, right, teammates on your team, right? So that is a little bit harder, but I can read through it, right? So the production for a training associate to associate is 20,000 team points in rolling 3 months. And I'll talk about rolling. Senior associate is 30,000 points in rolling 3 months. And you need to have 4 licensed associates. To get to marketing director, 40,000 points rolling 3 months with 5 licensed associates. And then senior marketing director is 75,000, right, with 10 licensed associates and a few other qualifications that we're going to go over, right? All the additional levels for above senior marketing director or EMD, CEO, we're all 65% contract. Okay? How do you calculate rolling? Okay? Every month that goes by, okay, rolling takes 3 months. So November, December, January. Okay? So what is the total amount of number for November, December, January? It's 35. Okay? And let's say that this person was trying to hit senior marketing director. You need a total of 75,000 points. Okay? So let's just say these are 1,000 points. So you need 75. Okay? So from 20, 30, 35, do you hit 75 yet? No. Okay? You missed it in January. So guess what? Once January passes, you go into February. Do you know that rolling means you lose out on November's numbers? So now you're trying to hit 75. Do you hit it? You go 10 plus 5 is 15 plus 40, and that is 55, right? You missed it again. Now going into March, you're going to lose out 10. So, right? So from January, February, you have 45. You need at least 30 in March to hit your promotion. So guess what? This person overshot it. They said, I'm tired of missing my rolling months. So now this person did 100 in March, and now the total rolling 3 months is 145, right? Once March passes, okay, then April, right? So that's 20 in April, so that's 160,000 rolling, okay? So hopefully you guys understand rolling in terms of calculating for your promotions. Reverse engineering can be super fun, right? So if you know your contract level and you want to get paid a certain amount of money, then you know exactly how much points you need to write. So all you do is, right, you have to remember that if you are writing a term or IUL or life insurance business, you only get paid 40% upfront, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to divide 3,000 by 40%. So you need to write business that generates 4,500 in commissions because you know that only 40% will hit for the month. So if you are a senior associate, your contract level is 45% of points. So all you got to do is divide 7,500 divided by your contract level, in this case senior associate, is 16,667 points. That's how much points you need to write this month in order to get paid net $3,000. But the best part about it, can you check your answer? The best part about it is even without writing new business, you'll get paid the other 60% probably the month after, right? Probably in a month out, you get paid the other 60%. So that's another 4,500 without working, right? So check your answer. 16,667 times your contract level equals 7,500. You get paid up front 3,000. And here you go. You'll earn another 60%, the other 4,500 once the client is approved, right? So you get paid 3,000 this month, and without working, you'll also get paid 4,500 most likely the next month. That's how you reverse engineer. So I think we're pretty much done, right? So these are some of the numbers. A lot of people ask, how do I get to SMD? Then, man, I really want to get to SMD, right? Well, that's the highest contract level. What you need is 75,000 points, okay? You need to have someone on your team that's MD or at least 2 senior associates. You need to have 10 licensed agents in a rolling 3 months. Remember how to calculate rolling. You also have to have 35,000 cash flow, meaning net pay to you in a rolling 12 months, or 20,000 cash flow in a rolling 6 months. Okay? Either or. So one of the ways that I tell people to get to SMD, first, you get yourself to MD, and then you help someone on your team get to MD. Okay? So if you want to get to SMD, you got to get to MD and help people on your team hit MD. So how do you get to MD? This is a little bit more easier calculations. This is the 50% contract level, okay? All you need is 40,000 points in a rolling 3 months, and you guys should know how to calculate points now by the end of this training. And you need to have 5 licensed agents. 5 licensed agents. Okay? 5 licensed agents, 40,000 net points for the entire team in a rolling 3 months. That's how you get to MD. And you help more and more people on your team become MD, then you will hit SMD. All right? So I really want you guys to understand these slides fully, right? And I really want you guys to be able to learn how to calculate using the points and how many points you have, right? And so it's very important for you guys to be able to do that, okay? So that's the end for me. Let me see if okay, here you go. And then let me go to my camera. Okay, there you go. Right, so we're pretty much done, and I know like meetings are a little bit strange right now, but that's why we're throwing on multiple trainings for you guys throughout the week. There's a Tuesday one, there's a Thursday one, there's a Saturday one. You guys can also invite guests to any of these, and please don't confuse the guests, because we'll have multiple links for each one. Right, one link is for associates for the training, one link is for the guests out there, and also, after you have the guests, have them fill out the feedback sheet, right? Fill out the feedback sheet so that they can let you know what they're interested in, right? And for those of you guys who have warm market hot and warm market guests, you can invite them directly to our presentations. But if you have people who you just kind of know, then I recommend doing that short one-on-one presentation. If you're brand new, work with your trainer, like myself, like with Ray, with other trainers out there, to help your guests come to one of these online BPM presentations. And I know that we have a lot of guests tonight. Congratulations. Let me see if I can recognize some of the people with some guests for tonight. So that's a recognition that we haven't done yet. So let me take a look. So for tonight, let me see. I know Lena posted out a few of this. Okay, here we go. So actually, I don't know whose guess is whose, right? So but I know invitation-wise, I know Stephen JJ had invited some guests. I know Khaled invited some guests as well. I know Fred and Blanca invited a large amount of guests as well. So I apologize that I can't have too much on there. So in terms of the recognition, okay. So that's it for the training for today. Please help us to calculate attendance and everything by answering our poll on the Telegram immediately after this. Let us know if you were on this this chat room, right, or on this this training for tonight. Please click on yes if you attended it. That will help us a lot. Let us know if there's anything that Lena and myself need to do to help you guys in the business. We appreciate you guys. Have a good evening. And let me see if Lena wants. I did. Oh, okay. Yeah, except for guest count. I don't know the guest count. Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's Khaled's guest, CZ. Oh, okay. No, I think Khaled's guest is Samara. So I don't know whose guest CZ is. Okay, so whoever's guest is CZ, please private message us. Okay, but I think we'll find out at the very end. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, and I think we're gonna have a meeting after meeting with some of the key leaders as well. So thank you guys for being on this call. We appreciate you guys. Have a good night.